What's up, YouTube? Special shout out to the subscribers here and welcome to another weekly training video where I'm here to talk about all the training I'm doing to prepare for IRONMAN Texas coming up in April of 2026. In today's video, I'm going to talk about how last week's non-training went. We're going to take a look at the training I have coming up this week. And then finally, I'm going to have a couple of thoughts, just reflections on the race from last weekend that I wanted to get out in today's video as well. So starting off with last week's training or non-training. And let me just kind of clarify here, at the end of the race last weekend, I felt really encouraged to take a break. I wanted it to feel like the end of my 2025 season, and I wanted to really sort of unplug from a lot of the things, a lot of the routines that I've been ingrained in for pretty much all of 2025. Things like my meal prep schedule, when I'm eating, what I'm eating, all of those things. Also, what type of training I'm doing each day, my sleep schedule. I wanted to try to unplug from all of that. And I think I did a pretty good job. Starting out on Monday, I didn't do any training at all. Slept in, walked the dog, enjoyed my day with no training whatsoever. On Tuesday, I hopped back to the gym to do my strength training. I do not plan on stopping my strength training. I always knew that I wasn't gonna take my full break off from that. I wanted to continue doing the strength training that I'm on. So did that, and then also on Tuesday, I felt inclined to go and do a nice sort of easy, leisurely ride. Took about 90 minutes, did about 13 miles, riding out on the trails. Really nice weather, and just sort of enjoyed getting moving again there. On Wednesday, I did a 20-minute really quick strength session, and that was it. And bear in mind at this point, I am eating whatever I want. I'm eating out a lot. I'm drinking a lot of Belgian beer. I'm having dessert almost every day. I'm sort of sleeping in. I'm just kind of living it up. On Thursday, went back, did a strength training session in the morning, and then did my first ride back on my tri-bike. I did a sort of recovery ride here in the studio on Thursday as well. Enjoyed that. On Friday, I decided to get up and go swim. Wanted to touch the water and swam about 1,250 yards and enjoyed that as well. And then also went and did a little bit of quote unquote mountain biking on Friday as well. Just riding around with my son, having a good time. So Saturday, I went out and did 4 miles of running. I did some pull-ups and some push-ups afterwards. And I really felt good about Saturday's run because I remember after the Texas City Triathlon in September, I took a little bit of time to recover that week. And then I went out the next Saturday and did a 6-mile run, thinking that my foot and my hip were feeling better. I was able to race, again, this is back in September, but I had such a tough time on that Saturday after the race doing that 6-mile run. I was limping around the rest of the day. I was super sore, and it was like a pretty big wake-up call. I was like, hey, you know, just because you got this race done doesn't mean your body's healed up and ready to get back into running the way you want to be running. Fast forward to this Saturday, again, the Saturday after a race, I went out and did 4 miles, and I felt great. I was really, really happy that I felt like I was kind of speeding up as I went. Decided to call it off after 4 miles and just see how I felt. And honestly, I didn't have any additional discomfort from that 4 miles. And it really is reassuring that I'm heading in the right direction in terms of healing that TFL injury that kind of started having an effect on my running in July. So I'm really happy to be heading in the right direction. 4 miles felt great on Saturday, and pull-ups and push-ups felt good as well. I've been able to maintain the strength training that I've been doing, and that feels really good. Finally, yesterday I had a 1-hour bike ride. Well, I did about an hour and 15 minutes here on the indoor trainer, more zone 2 work, and honestly, I really enjoyed that ride as well. And that brings us to this current week of training, and it's kind of exciting because this is the first week of my IRONMAN Texas training. Now that this 2025 sprint racing stuff is all done, it's all in the rear view, my coach was eager to put my training plan together, and I have 21 weeks of training loaded all the way through race day. So this morning's swim felt a little bit special because I'm going out to do the first workout of my Ironman training. So got that done this morning, swam about 1,500 yards. I'm gonna do yoga tonight. Moving on to tomorrow, I have an interval ride on the bike with 5-minute zone 2, 5-minute zone 3, 5-minute zone 4, rinse and repeat. That should be fun. A little bit of zone 4 work tomorrow. 20-minute run off the bike, and also my strength session. So tomorrow, a pretty full training day. On Wednesday, I have an hour easy run. That's definitely a little bit different. So looking at this week, I have a run on Tuesday, I have a run on Wednesday, I have a run on Saturday and Sunday. If I do all of these runs, it's going to be the most running volume that I've done in a long time. What's nice about these runs is that they're pretty much all at easy pace. There's a little bit of intensity on Sunday's run, but I'm looking forward to trying to build up my easy run volume because I know I'm going to need a lot of that to get ready for Ironman Texas. So Wednesday, easy run, 20-minute core strength session. Thursday, got strength session, more of a comprehensive, longer strength session on Thursday. Hour easy ride. Friday, we're back to the pool with a short strength session. Saturday, I've got 6 by 1 mile at easy pace, and then I'm going to do some push-ups and pull-ups. And on Sunday, 2-hour zone 2 bike ride, hopefully outdoors, and a 3-mile transition run. And that's what my first week of Ironman training looks like. I'm pretty excited about it. I'm going to be running more than usual, spending some quality time trying to get comfortable in that zone 2 easy running pace, and hopefully I'll continue to feel as motivated as I do right now, because 21 weeks out I feel super motivated, and I'm really hopeful that I can keep that motivation going, and making these videos I feel is going to help me stay in that headspace. So I think I'd just like to wrap up today by talking real briefly about some reflections from my video last week. I feel like my talking through the race last week was really helpful for me, because I think it's one of the first times I've been able to learn from this process of talking through my races. And I specifically want to point out, during my little monologue, I talked through everything during the race last week. I mentioned how I had a moment during the dismount where I felt frustrated that other athletes had come past me. Now, this is something that I've actually had sort of bother me many times. Many races, I can think of many times that I've gotten frustrated near the end of a bike ride when athletes come past me as I'm getting close to the mountain line. However, this has been something I've just been thinking about in my own head. When I recorded it and put it out, and I was listening to the video, I was listening to myself talk through that experience and listening to myself complain about those other athletes, it really made me sort of cringe. I was like, oh man, it sounds kind of weird. Why would I get upset about athletes going past me in a race in the middle of the race course, right? And I really feel like if I had never said that out loud and then been subsequently sort of embarrassed about saying it and putting it out there on the internet, I don't think I would have had that sort of self-reflection and tell myself there's no reason to be upset about that happening. And I'm hopeful that I can take that lesson into my next race and all the races I do moving forward. And I don't want to waste energy being upset about something I shouldn't be upset about at all. So also another takeaway from last week's race, just want to mention I had been talking about the USAT national ranking system and how doing one more sprint race would potentially give me a higher score and allow me to jump up the ranks a little bit. Unfortunately, that is not how it played out. I ended up scoring an 88.217, which is a little bit lower than my lowest score from a previous race this year of 88.317. So this little bit of difference. So long story short, the race did not actually change my overall points for 2025. Therefore, it didn't change my overall ranking. I'm sitting at 224th out of 900 or so athletes in the 40 to 44 age group in the USAT national rankings, which I'm excited about. Hey, feels good. I got something to shoot for, try to move up that list, hopefully move up in ranking for next year if I can. So I think that's all for today. Got the beautiful swim of Ironman Texas here in the background, again trying to keep this motivation going. Looking forward to the race. Please, if you have any thoughts, questions, comments about my process here, getting ready for Ironman Texas, or any comments about the training that I'm talking about, I'd love to hear it. And I appreciate you taking your time to watch this video today. I'll be back next Monday with another update, talking about how week 2 is going. Thank you. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye.